Hello everybody, my name is Necroxis. It's time for the big one. This is the something like 6+ minute cutscene that happens at the end of 8.2.5. I gotta be honest, there was like 3 quests between the last cinematic and this one. I'm a little bummed that there was not more to this patch, but I guess it is an intermediary patch between 8.2 and 8.3, if there even is an 8.3, because who knows anymore at this point. But we have arrived at Orgrimmar. We are about to confront Sylvanas. I don't know what the hell is going to happen, because there could be a million different things. I guess the leak about the Shadowlands where Sylvanas attacks Stormwind and the Lich King shows up to kill everybody is bunk, because that doesn't fit this at all. But I guess let's see what happens, right? Strap yourselves in. 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, look at that. Look at that team. Ah, fully rendered Orgrimmar. Nice. Sylvanas.
It's time.
The blood of the night elves of your people demands justice.
Orgrimmar are Horde as well. Our brothers and sisters. These warriors have sworn to fight. For you. Many lives will be lost. Or perhaps just one.
Are we gonna get the mak'gora?
Sylvanas Windrunner! I challenge! mak'gora!
Oh!
A traitor leading traitors. Why should I accept your challenge?
You want to make me suffer.
Saurfang is definitely dying. This is for sure he's gonna die. But he'll do something that makes Sylvanas leave. Or get kicked out.
Brother, you cannot win. My old friend. You and I. We don't get to hide.
Oh.
I set you on this path.
And we knew where it could lead. Walk with me. The rest of the way.
Oh shit, he's using Charlemagne too! Oh, this is fucking hype, man.
Let it be finished.
Oh! All the quotes to other cinematics. He said his son's quote when he fought the Lich King.
The High Overlord falls. I trusted you. And so did they. Death comes, old soldier. And all their hope dies with you.
I'm about hope dying, bitch. How is everyone like just fucking evil?
You cannot kill hope. You tried at Teldrassil. You failed. Hope remains. You set us to kill each other at Lordaeron. You failed. Here we stand. You just keep failing. The Horde will endure.
Get her!
The Horde is strong.
The Horde is nothing.
There she is. She's got to leave now. She's got to run.
You are all nothing.
Re-away, bitch. Re-away.
If you could see yourselves as I see you, toy soldiers in tin plate, beasts who howl for honor.
Someone shoot this bitch.
Standing as one. Savor it. Nothing lasts.
Re-away, bitch. Re-away. No one wants your nasty ass. Fucking true war chief right there. Saved everybody.
What do we do now?
We bring him home.
Oh, this is so good. Someone's fucking vacuuming and I'm crying over a video game. Oh, shit. Oh my god, there were so many callbacks to other cinematics. I was not just fucking around when I was like, hey, I was joking about, like, Sylvanas, bloody or whatever. That was the comparison they were making. Sylvanas is the fucking Lich King. This is what the cinematic was saying. He even says, let it be finished, which is exactly what his son says to the Lich King before he dies. And he says it to her before he dies. Saurfang is the fucking man. He is the war chief we do not deserve. He saved the Horde. He's the fucking best. And I love him. And he went out in the best, perfect way. I'm sad that he's dead, but if characters die in a fulfilling and satisfying way, then I'm totally cool with it. Characters like Nazgrim before they ruined him, and now Saurfang. Oh my god, that was just so fucking perfect. It was great. Oh man, and Anduin, Zikhan, and fucking Thrall carrying his body into Orgrimmar after Sylvanas reveals that she gives no shits about any of these people. How is she not the next villain? Like, Blizzard's gonna have to do some really the hardest legwork they've ever done narratively to make her not just be a villain the next time she shows up. I don't know how she's not. She left going like, fuck all y'all, I don't give a shit about any of you, bye. Like, how is she not a villain? What could they possibly do, even if we go to the Shadowlands? What the hell could they do to make her be like, this is someone I should follow? The person who genocided the Night Elves, who killed Saurfang, who did all this horrendous shit, who said no one matters except for me. How can they make this character? This is like worse than Illidan in Legion trying to be like, I'm the guy you should follow now, which they really didn't even do, but what they did with him I still wasn't okay with. This is worse than that. How could she possibly... How could they do that? I don't know how it's possible for them to make her redeemable, even in like a Kerrigan sort of way. Because even with Kerrigan, the excuse was, I was corrupted by Aemon. Sylvanas is just like, I'm fucking evil. Bye. Like, she has no excuse at all. Like, there's none. So even if they make her Kerrigan, I don't know how they possibly can justify us following her. Sorry about that. I had to cut for a second, and we watched the cinematic again, and I had the same reaction. I freaking cried like a baby. The amount of sheer callbacks to other expansions, other cinematics, other powerful, important moments in the lore right there. Like, I don't think people appreciate enough. Maybe they do. I guess I can't say that because I haven't been looking at what people are talking about because I didn't want to be spoiled. I hope that people, I hope that people will appreciate how importantly damning it is to Sylvanas as a character for Blizzard to go beyond just doing things like, I don't know, having Thalyssra be like, man, what's going on right now kind of reminds me of Elisande. That's sad. Like, they went beyond that and cinematically directly calls Sylvanas the Lich King. Like, directly calls her that character now. A lot of us who haven't been drinking the Sylvanas Kool-Aid have been saying, hey, she's basically become the Lich King now. That's different than the actual canon being like, this bitch is the Lich King. And I think that's very, very important because trying to make us work with her in a Shadowlands expansion would be like trying to make us work with the Lich King. I don't know how to... The Arthas Lich King, by the way. Like, Bolvar Lich King is a whole totally different story. He's much more of an anti-hero than just, I'm gonna kill everybody because of some dumbass nebulous, if everyone's dead, then that's good, like, nonsense that they tried to retcon in Chronicle. I meant, like, the original, the Arthas Ner'zhul Lich King. That would be like them trying to make us follow him. Him. And, like, support him and being like, oh, this is the guy that'll lead us to fight N'Zoth, I guess. I feel like that's very, very significant. And I think maybe, and I will be really sad and angry if these words come to blow up back in my face, and part of my brain is like, don't say this because it might still happen. But maybe some of us who hate Sylvanas, maybe we were reading a little too much into Blizzard trying to defend her as righteous. I think maybe what we did was we mistakenly substituted the official Blizzard canon for what Sylvanas' fanboys were saying and doing. Because, I mean, I've been saying this about how she's been evil and Blizzard's been showing her as evil for, like, a while now. But I think, and I've certainly done this, and I've seen other people who are Alliance fans have done this, we get a little lost in the weeds trying to argue Sylvanas as a character in terms of Blizzard's portrayal of her versus what I would call the completely skewed and biased version of her that her fanboys try to present her as, kind of excusing everything she does. And I think maybe, I'm not saying anything good about Sylvanas here. I'm actually giving Blizzard a little bit more credit than I've been critical of them in the past for, because I think this cinematic kind of destroys any notion that Sylvanas will be on our side again. And if she is, it'll be like one of the most tenuous, allied of convenience examples in fantasy that we have ever seen. Like, this goes far beyond Kerrigan. This is like having them make us team up with her, I think would be, because now the argument before was they can't make us team up with Sylvanas because the Alliance would never be okay with that. And that's true and that's still valid. But now, in addition to that, it's they can't make us team up with Sylvanas. The Horde would never be fucking okay with that. She killed their greatest champion and said fuck all y'all to them in their faces. So I think the narrative of, oh, we'll eventually see her grand plan and why we should follow her is going to be destroyed. I don't know. I kind of feel like the next time we're going to see her, she is going to be a villain. That we actually have to fight and oppose and kill. A villain, meaning like not Horde, not in the dumb faction conflict way, but just like an existential threat that we need to stop. Because how else can you read that scene? Like, even though she's like, you're all tin soldiers and blah, 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 I wish you could see me as I see you. She feels like I feel like that's something Gul'dan would say, like, you're all just puppets to use at my control. Or, the Lich King being like, I kept you alive just so I could kill you at the right time. Or, Deathwing like, I could drive you crazy eventually and you'll join my team because you're so powerful and we'll win. Like, it's definitely a villain speech. Like, there's nothing heroic about what she says at all. They even deliberately have her little Forsaken dude, or lady, I guess it looked feminine, look at her and be like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? When she was like, you're all nothing. So, I don't know. I really love that a lot. I still have a lot of problems with Battle for Azeroth, but I gotta admit, I kinda loved how that ended. So, I don't know. I kind of take I take looking at things kind of like, this is going to be a really weird comparison unless you've been there and you know what I'm talking about. I kind of view things like Disney's parks do, whereas they have like a general rule of thumb if you ever go to a Disney park where a bad experience fixed is the best experience of all. So, for example, say you bought something at Disney, and you can do this. I wouldn't recommend doing it because it's not moral, but say you bought like a hat at Disney and you're with someone else and they also want that hat. If you go and tell them, unless it's like third-party items, if you go and tell them like, yo, I was on a roller coaster and I lost my hat, they'll just give you one for free. Because they want you to leave with a better experience. And their philosophy is, if you've had a bad experience and they fix it, that shows the customer that you're willing to go above and beyond for them, and they believe that leaves the customer being way more positive about the experience. And I kind of agree in this regard. If they have a bad expansion, and I think Battle for Azeroth is a bad expansion, but they have an ending that is good, I think that really, really, really helps the notion that this is a bad expansion. It works the opposite way, too. If you have a really good expansion with a bad ending, I think it can really drag it down. I think Miss Pandaria is a good example. Or not Miss Pandaria, Cataclysm is a good example where I think this expansion, I think Cataclysm is fucking great. But the last patch in Dragon Soul is very meh, and it kind of drug the whole expansion down. But in this case, I'm not saying Battle for Azeroth is good. Calm down, everybody. Or don't get your hopes up, everyone who loves it. But I think if my opinion on Battle for Azeroth is like this cinematic may go like, boop, maybe like we're like on average now. And it really depends on what the next patch is. If there is one, whether it's going to go medium down or back or up. Because I really, really liked that. It was the culmination of a lot of storylines, themes, things that have been building up for like a decade now at this point. So it was just, I really loved it. I can't really praise it enough. So everyone let me know what you thought in the comments below. Also, one last thing. My Alliance fans. Because Jesus Christ, I've been seeing this on Twitter during my break after I had seen it. People are going fucking crazy about, like, very minute, minuscule things and declaring everything the worst expansion of, like, everything is just completely dogshit awful because, Tyranda's not here. And yes, I would love Tyrande to be in this patch. Maybe she is in the epilogue. I haven't done the epilogues yet. Stay tuned for that. We're going to do one final video where I look at all three of the epilogues. Because I can't even look at one on my own. Like, I can't see the Sylvanas Loyalist one because my Horde is not a Sylvanas Loyalist. So we're just going to do a video where we look at all three epilogues. The Alliance one, the Saurfang Loyalist, and the Sylvanas Loyalist. I don't know what happens in those, except for the Alliance one. I heard something about Kalia is there. Which would make sense because she has not shown up yet. And they made a new model for her. I just forgot. Oh, my Alliance fans. Yo, some of y'all, I've been like hardcore blue team forever. And I really understand your frustrations with a lot of things, especially the Night Elf stuff. But man, some of y'all are going like way too crazy about this, like everything. And you just need to maybe just take a break a little bit. Like take a break. Because I took a big long break. And while I'm still dissatisfied with the game, I'm not as in like constant in rage mode about it. And I think that really helps. It really helped me enjoy this. Also, it really helped that we didn't know what the hell was coming, and this was completely hidden. So, good job on Blizzard's part. I really loved everything about this. Everyone, if you're mad, just take a break. Just calm yourself. Go get a drink. Go for a walk. Go play a game. Do whatever you gotta do. Jerk off. Whatever you gotta do to make yourself feel better. Just stop for a minute and just don't. Because I think a lot of people really like this cinematic, or at least I did, and during the break, the reception that I saw, people seem to really love it. So, I don't know. I'm not saying you have to like something if you don't want to, but just don't be mad about things that haven't happened yet, and you're just assuming that's happening. And I'm talking about a bunch of people here. I'm not just talking about like one person vaguely because I'm a douchebag, but a lot of Alliance and Night Elf people I see online are still super enraged. And they're making a lot of assumptions based on things that haven't happened. And I've certainly been guilty of that in the past, and I have not listened to people telling me, maybe don't assume that. So now I'm going to say, as someone who was like that, maybe don't assume that. Alright, thanks guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but until then, stay awesome. Stay tuned for one more video for the epilogues. But until then, yeah, farewell.